So basically, if you would need to leave at some point, never know, pick up the phone, and there's an interesting part, you would be able to come back later. And of course, Patty is your best reference, but welcome on board. And I'm going to invite you to straight away discover the beautiful spirit.
Yeah.
If you guys want to just mute,
So you don't get any back?
we don't have volume here, Cindy. Just so you know.
No best preference, but welcome on board. And I'm no best preference. All righty, so put your hands up in the air if you would like to go just after watching that video. So, Patty, just for your friends and my friends now, they know you, but maybe you want to talk a little bit about you, who you are, what you're doing, and why I am here.
So thank you everyone for joining. Debbie, you're new to me. I'm excited that you're joining here too. Cecilia's on, Robert and Anne are on. They're both clients, and they're actually, Robert and Anne are booked on this cruise already. So yay, I'm all excited. Cecilia, I'm trying to convince. They're also cruising with me in October to the Greek Isles. So they're experienced cruisers, love cruising with Norwegian. I love cruising Norwegian. I've been on 16 cruises. I think I've been on 10 with Norwegian. I think I'm coming up to like 11, 12 with these ones coming. So I really see the value in cruising. I love it. I've been a travel agent for 17 years. I've been home based for the most part. I am based in Edmonton. I do love selling cruises and group travel. So this is why I try and get like-minded people together that want to do this. These at the top right are a couple of clients that we took on an Alaska cruise years ago on the Dawn, actually or the Sun, pardon me, in Alaska. And we arrived in a limo to the cruise port. So these are little things that when you travel with Dreamaker Vacations, this is what we do for our clients. So we just have a lot of fun on what we do. So Miss Cindy is here. Cindy is my business development manager. So if you've ever heard BDM, she is my guru, my go-to when I have issues or clients have issues. I go to her for support. Exactly. And again, you can see from her experience, she loves Norwegian. She understands it inside out. So it's all about matching people on the right cruises, the right ships, things like that. So she's my support too. And I thank her so much for doing these presentations for me. They're neatly put together just to give you guys as much information as we can in such a short time. So Cindy, take it away.
I guess the stage is mine. So welcome everybody once again. Just a point, who is going to guess where I am from just based on my accent? And don't pretend I don't have one, I would not believe you. Any guess?
Montreal.
No, I understand why. I mean, that's a trap, actually.
It's not hard because you're from France, because we're on the
I am from France. So I was born and raised in Normandy, and I moved through actually a few countries over my life over the past 10 years. I moved from Paris to London, the one in actually UK, not the one in Ontario. It's a kind of different scene. We have as well, I have actually lived in US for a while and actually in Canada for the past 5 years, almost 5 years in a couple of months. And I've been working actually for Norwegian for the past couple of years, but my background is travel industry. That's my passion. I found out very, very, very early in my life it would be my passion because I love to move. I'm always on the move. And yes, this last year are getting me crazy. So I just cannot wait to come back Even my airport, even Toronto. I miss Toronto Pearson. Isn't it crazy? I spent too much time. So my role within Norwegian, I work only with travel partners like Patty. So basically, yes, I am the one that Patty is going to call when she says, Cindy, I want a deal and I want the best deal for my client to give it to me now. And I'm like, okay. So that's basically where I can help Patty and ensure as well that she is aware of all the best deals. And if she has concerns, questions, I am her primary contact. So she knows she has someone to talk to. So this is why actually we have decided to build this this night together, because we want to share our passion for cruising with you and invite you actually to join our cruise and Patty on this amazing itinerary. So Norwegian, we are global. We go a little bit everywhere. So last week we visited Greek islands with Patty. This week we're going slightly on another, a little bit further, but we go everywhere in the world. But today, yes, we are going to South Pacific. And just before I start, I have to say that what I'm going to tell you guys, you have to believe me for one good reason. That's my next vacation. It's not on the same day that you guys will be able to go, but I am booked on this very same itinerary. So I just leave you actually the judge if would I tell you to go if I would not go myself. That's how good I think this itinerary is. So that's a 12-day, and we are going to start in Papeete, in Tahiti, to end in Hawaii. This is great because I don't know if you ever tried actually to check what are the possible, how easy or uneasy actually it is to travel to Hawaii and French Polynesia. Those islands, they are pretty much in the middle of nowhere, even though it's a paradise on earth. So that type of cruise is perfect because it will enable you basically to just relax, enjoy the sea, and you don't have to think about taking your plane, catching your flight, packing, unpacking, getting a boat between islands. You don't have to think about it. Just to give you an idea actually of the distances between the two, those two destinations. So if you had to fly direct, which doesn't happen every day, but let's say you're lucky you have a direct flight between those two, it's 6 hours, right? So it's actually more than if you go maybe from Newfoundland to actually Vancouver, that would be even more than that. So that's why actually what we offer you guys is just to relax. So it's going to take a couple of days in between, but it's packing, getting a boat between islands. You don't have to think of, oh, sorry, there's an echo. Patty, I'm going to mute yourself. I'm sorry. So let's start, right? I think that's where we're here. So the day one, you're going to leave Papeete in Tahiti. And funny enough, remember I told you I was French? You are in my country. Yes, you are. I know when you think about France, you may think first about cheese and Eiffel Tower. Yeah, no, here it's not really about that. You may think about like gray and sad Parisians as well. No, here they're not in Tahiti. So yes, you are in France. If I want to go there, the beauty of it is I don't need to change passport or change a visa, which is wonderful. So here, basically this place is very famous. We all know the pictures, right? Here, the coconut here, the beautiful beaches over there, the palm trees, and the crystal blue waters. We all know them. It's like actually a little bit like Hawaii. We're talking about volcanic islands, which is really cool. It's completely different from the kind of islands that maybe you're used to seeing in, I don't know, in Caribbeans, for example. Completely different. We absolutely love it. This place is very famous for the black pearls, right? Not the actual ship from Disney, but the actual the actual black pearl. And yes, that's the time for you to start practicing your French, right? So here in Papeete, so you will find a lot of different things, like from French food. Of course, you would get French food, but Polynesian and international as well. So no worry, you should be able to find your preference here available. So the embarkation day, how typically that works. I know you here, most of you have cruised a lot, so but maybe we have an experienced cruisers here. So just the day of embarkation, you're going to arrive to the port, and Patty is going to explain that to you as well when she received documentation, how to do the check-in, etc. So you would get basically a time slot given to you to actually, you can show up at the port to embark. Why? Because if you picture actually an airport, you know, when you get in line to go on board a plane, we talk about 100, 200 passengers. So even for just that number, there's some zones, right? Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. It works a little bit the same on a bigger scale, right? We're talking about a ship that's roughly 2,000 passengers. So then you're going to go there. We're going to pick up your luggage, and they will be delivered later on that day to your cabin. So the idea is that you're comfortable just to get on the ship. So you just keep a little backpack with your, you know, your basic things, such as your passport, for example, maybe a little bit of water, even though everything's going to be on the ship, and then you will be on your way on your vacation. Just remember, so I talked a little bit about it at the beginning. The great thing with a cruise is not only you're going to not spend half of your time of your vacation on transfers or on another flight or on a bus, right? Like driving millions of miles. No, because your hotel ship is going to travel for you at night, which is the beauty. And the second thing that is great compared to a land tour that may be organized, you will be able to completely customize your experience because you will choose excursions. I mean, in the end of the day, when you want to get off the ship every day, every new port, you're absolutely free to go by yourself if it's what you want, right? We have tons of passengers. This is what they do. But sometimes, you know, you just want to not really think about it. You want somebody to take good care of you for the day, drive you where you need to go without you thinking twice about it. So this is when excursions come. And we are sure to offer such a variety of excursions that if you pretty much relax vacationer, if you would like to taste a little bit more culture, for example, or more food, or you're more like active and you want to go on a trekking, on a snorkeling, we have all those kind of excursions. So that's just a very few examples here on the screen that you will be able to book if you want to get the customization of your vacation. Myself, for example, I'm a little bit of everything. So I love on some days to visit the monuments. I would love to go on a vanilla farm, for example. I've never done that and I love vanilla. So probably that's what I'm going to do during that cruise. A safari, yes, definitely I'm going to do that on one day. And a day at the beach doing nothing but reading my book with a cocktail on that hand, yes, that's probably what I'm going to do as well at some point. So feel free to actually talk with Patty, depending on who you are, what you want to do, what would be the best choice of excursion. On day 2, so that's your first morning actually on the ship where you're going to wake up and enjoy your first breakfast, and then you would be good to visit Moorea. So this one actually, it's really unique because this islands, and you can see actually on the picture, it has a very particular shape. It's very, very famous for that. It's heart-shaped. So I know on lots of pictures, sometimes they tend to exaggerate it a little bit, but in the end of the day, this island is really on the heart shape. So that's really, really cool. So you have 8 mountains over there. So lots of vegetation and lagoons. So really those kind of pictures that you see on everybody else social media, and you're like, I wish that was me. That can be you, basically. So let's not lie. Social media, what are they for if not to make your friends and family jealous, right? Come on. I do it. I have to say, I do it. So basically, yes, it's a beautiful island where you can do a lot of things. You can go like, paddle boarding is very famous. Skydiving, yes, if you're not scared of height, that would be wonderful. You have typical bus tours to visit the islands. You can go hiking. That's my thing. And you can, of course, go snorkeling in the sea and see the fishes, right? The Pacific Island fishes as well. You can as well attend, like, for example, traditional feast and authentic Polynesian dance show. And I strongly invite you to do that because later you would be able to compare with Hawaiian one, which is pretty cool. So at this point, yes, the food as well. There's a food specialty over there that is very famous. Is actually poisson cru, and I'm saying with my thickest French accent, which means literally raw fish or raw tuna. So it's marinated in lime juice. I don't know if you may be familiar with Asian sashimi, for example, Asian food. You may find that in restaurants. This is delicious, I can tell you that. So a couple of excursions you can make over there. You can do book. You would have some beach escapade as well. You would have like these off-road safaris. You can go hiking as well for the Oponu. And I'm sorry for my accent because let's face it, they don't speak Parisian French or Normandy French over there. The Opunohu, not too bad valley. And as well, for example, you could go on a photo adventure. So here, this kind of excursions, I love them because we really focus on bringing you on the best spots to take the biggest, best souvenirs ever. And that's what vacation is at some point, right? So here on day 3, we would be actually in Bora Bora. So something else that you can check on your bucket list. Have you ever met one person who say, no, Bora Bora, I'm going to pass on that? I would not really. So usually it's typically Bora Bora the destination for honeymoons in particular, right? When people think about French Polynesia for honeymoons, Bora Bora is usually the one you think about, about those hotels and those little houses actually on pillars over the water. So that's beautiful. The water is that color. And I think obviously it's even better in real life, but that's where you're going to be able to see those romantic places. So ladies and gentlemen, Rob, I see you with your lady. You will have to bring her on a lovely dinner. No choice. I'm sorry, pressure. I know you're booked already, so pressure. But that's a really beautiful island where you can go as well. Bora Bora is very famous as well we have a sea turtle sanctuary over there. So if you're like me and every time you see those kind of animals in the wildlife and you're like, oh, yes, that's basically where you should go. So you can definitely visit the sanctuary for the turtle. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words. So then we are going on some excursions if you would like. So there's the turtle, but there's actually a wonderful animal wildlife. So shark and stingray snorkel safari, that could be really a lot of fun. You can go as well on a day on some boats as well, but out of the ship. You can go for a Bora Bora sunset sail. Can you imagine that? Because that is wonderful in the day, but imagine at the sunset as well. And you have actually some mini cruises as well, beach break, when you want just to relax on the day on the day of the beach. Then finally, that will be our last stop in French Polynesia on the day 4. So that's basically Raiatea. So that's the last island you're going to visit before going on your way to Hawaii. So that means actually faraway haven. So that's an island and there's a lot of beauty. There's lots of myth around it. And basically you have the largest outdoor temple over there that is called Marae. So that's actually really cool when you think about it, because lots of people tend to believe that maybe there's not so much history on those islands, but that's not true. There's a huge culture, and same in Hawaii, to be honest. Of course, the native people have a huge and very, very ancient history. So you can see some here as well. As well, you have the coral reef teeming over there. So that's beautiful. So you have the coral in the lagoon, and if you like, or if you have never experienced actually snorkeling, snorkeling is different from diving. Snorkeling is really when you have basically the tuba, and that's something really soft. You don't need to have any practice about it. If you want, you can go diving, of course. That's absolutely possible. You have as well an extinct volcano over there. It's called the Monte Mihani. So that's very cool. Personally, I love that. You feel different from a mountain. I don't know. It's maybe just me, but I think it's just way much more beautiful to know there was life actually mountain. That's fantastic. So here, for example, you would be able to see as well some particular landmark like the Marae Taputauta. Taputaulea. Thank you. Please do me a favor, because you will go before me. You would have to come back and teach me how to say properly these names. They would actually be so mad at me. But please feel free to go there to visit the temples. So the last excursions you would be able to do here, and for example, if I had to pick myself, that would be the vanilla flavor and Modu picnic. This one, I think it just sounds absolutely incredible. Actually, Patty, would you have some some choice if you had, for example, an excursion? Oops, sorry, if you had an excursion or something, would you have a choice yourself?
I'm always, when I travel, about the food. So I really want to find some of the local things. But you were right, when you hit Bora Bora and these places, it's all about the water. So whether it be the snorkeling or Robin Ann and ourselves are divers, so we're certified. So we'll definitely do diving on this. But just even if it's a boat out on that water, just to soak it in, and the experience is really what I'm looking forward to, and taking tons of pictures. To me, travel is all about memories. You got to come back with memories, and photography is one of the big ones. So I think everyone will enjoy that part.
That's a very good point. And remember that what I really love when I am on the ship, it's basically when you come at port. Can you imagine when you're on the top deck? You basically have so much height that you have basically literally the full picture of the islands when basically you're coming, which is a huge advantage basically if you had to travel by land. And like those hotels who are in the water, your hotel will be in the water as well. So there will be no extras for that. You will have ocean view no matter what. So now from day 5 to day 8, this is when we are between the two destinations, the two countries. So this is actually days at sea. I know, okay, let's talk about that. I know sometimes there's a myth about, I want to get bored on the cruise ship. No, you will not, and for a few reasons. First off, those 4 days, it's a little bit on purpose, to be honest, because you guys bear in mind, we are all going here to South Pacific, which means there's going to be a little tiny jet lag, right? So basically jet lag, you don't feel it straight away. It comes after a couple of days. So that would be ideal for you actually to get used to the jet lag, really. Because first you can sleep in the morning, my favorite sport. To be honest, you will be able to get your breakfast in your cabin, and as well just explore the ship. The ship, she's been completely, entirely refurbished last year. And she had one cruise before actually we suspended the operation. So she's going to be, even by next year, she's going to be still absolutely brand new. There's a lot of things. There's many bars, there's many restaurants, there's lots of things to do on board, and I'm going to come back after we're done with the itinerary. But that, to me, 4 days is perfect just to relax, enjoy the ship, just like you would be on a hotel, to be honest. But then very quickly you will see actually it's going to pass very, very fast. You are going to be on Hilo. You're going to wake up in Hawaii on day 9, right? You just like move literally from France to US in 4 days, right? Isn't it amazing? So basically here you will start with those beautiful islands. So completely different because now we are in US as well. So that's slightly different in terms of the culture, the way people approach it, but still it's absolutely gorgeous. So here, Hilo, it's like they call it the giant greenhouse. I love it because here it's very famous. Look, we had the black pearl, we had the turtles. Now we go into the flowers, the famous Hawaiian flowers. We all know them, those beautiful flowers. So this is where you go when you are in Hilo. So here you will have actually the city. You have the city where you have lots of historic buildings you can visit as well, where you have actually a very unique architecture that is very, very onto Hilo. And just 30 miles away from Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, where it's the home of the active Kilauea volcano, very, very famous. Right now, maybe you see very often Hawaii on TV and you see those active volcanoes. There's usually a big, big chance that it would be that one because it's still active. And if we have a chance to pass by them at night, what we tend to do ourselves, we basically so you have to picture that. We basically shut off the lights and for you to enjoy basically the view on the actual lava streams. So that's not entirely up to us because the lava streams, because it's an active volcano, they change. The direction of the lava may change from a side of the volcano on the mountain to another one. So if the stream actually is facing the ocean, we are going more than happy to do that, and that's absolutely fantastic. If it goes the other way around, sorry guys, next time. but that's something absolutely that is absolutely gorgeous. So you will have opportunity to do a tons of different excursions. So just a very few example here. Here, my pick would be definitely the Circle of Fire helicopter. That's probably what I'm going to do, but I would have loved to do the Jungle Falls bike adventure, but my balance on bike is absolutely terrible. So I don't want to slow down the people I would be with. But if you want just to go for a chill day, just exploring the city, you can go for a historical Hilo or the best of Hilo. So as well, so on the day 10, you will now, that's probably my favorite part of Hawaii, I have to say, you will actually go to Naui, and once again, my apologies, Nauwili. Thank you, Patty, for that. So here, it's actually one of the most famous islands, I should say. So you have the picturesque harbors, you have Kauai as well. That is, most of the people would say it's the most beautiful island, basically, of Hawaii. It's called the Garden Island. So there's a lot of nature. You can go on those helicopter trip over the jungle. It's absolutely fantastic, and you have actual rainforests, which is really different once again. So you see, we're still in South Pacific, but you can already feel just by those pictures that it will be another story than French Polynesia. It's still absolutely fantastic, but it still will be another story. So it's basically, yeah, for the scenic one, for the picture, the waterfalls, of course, there's tons over there. They are absolutely beautiful. And do not forget, this is the place as well for the Na Pali coast. So this is all those amazing pictures. In the Na Pali coast, most of it is not accessible by land. So this is where typically you would go. This is, if you remember, one of my favorite movie, Jurassic Park. The first one, the good one. Basically, at the very beginning, when they are in the helicopter and you see them actually going down next to a waterfall, that it says in the movie this is Costa Rica, but actually that was here. That was on that island, and that was the waterfall. You can actually go there. So it's really, really cool. So some excursions that you can do over there, just an example. So you have, for example, the Waimea Canyon. Did you know actually there was a canyon in Hawaii you could actually visit? So it's something really cool you can do. You have actually some things more focused on the nature. You have hike and brew tours as well. So that's one is very, very funny. It's about local beverages. So every time you have local, you can guess there's a level of adventure no matter what. Of course, you can go on to some very famous show, and to be honest, you cannot leave Hawaii without going to one of those shows. Day 11, you will be already in Kahului. Once again, I apologize. I hope nobody of you has actually some roots in Hawaii, because you will not like my accent. So here, once again, it's all about natural splendor, the people as well, because they are very, very welcoming. We absolutely love them. And there's a lot of history as well. There's a little town over there. It's called Laina, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Shopping, do not forget. We say city, says shopping as well. And who said actually that you would love golf? Was it you, Debbie, that said that? Oh no, that's you, Pat. Who said actually that you are golf? Golf lover? Debbie. No, that was Debbie. So you have beautiful golf courses over there, so that's a perfect day for you. So here that's really cool. They are very famous actually for the golf courses over there. So here, natural golf, shopping, the state park. This is a little up to you to where you want to go, right? And as you can see, because those islands, they are pretty similar to some extent, you can really customize your vacation doing things completely different from one day to another. As I said, it could be golf for Debbie on one day and beach on the second day, and the bus tour on the other day, and food, like we have one for Patty here, like authentic taste of Maui. So that's for you. You see, every day can be really a different theme. So that's going to be a full, full vacation here.
I just want to add in, and I know you're going to hit this, but Maui is actually the overnight for us.
Correct.
So we actually are overnighting there. So we're going to get off in the morning, and we've got 2 full days pretty much. We basically dock at 9 in the morning and then leave at 2 p.m. the next day. So this is perfect for rounds of golf and those extra couple of excursions on that adventure. So overnighting.
Cool. Yeah. We are cool at Norwegian. We want cool itineraries. So then after that 12 days will have passed at some point, and you will be in Honolulu basically for your last day. So basically check with Patty, write you around either transfers, flights, hotels, maybe extensions. We have many guests. What they do is basically just disembark and stay and have a few days, basically just to explore more about Honolulu. So, you know, Honolulu is famous. If you remember the TV show, you have surfers. If maybe you never tried actually to surf, that's one of my target. I don't know. I have a terrible balance once again, but I'm like, challenge accepted. I'm going to try actually to paddleboard at least once in my life. And if I have to do it once, it has to be in Hawaii. I'm sorry. So you will be able to arrange that. So disembarkation, typically how it goes. So the night before, we will invite you basically to, if you want, to give your luggage away to us, to our team, to the crew, so we can actually have it disembarked before you, right? So you will find it basically at the terminal. Once you have disembarked from the ship, it's just more comfortable, to be honest, because the rooms typically has to be vacated quite early in the morning because the ship's going to get ready actually to go back into the other directions for a new cruise. So of course, you would be able to go for breakfast, for example. So maybe you don't want to have your luggages with you, right? So that's why we offer you to do that. You disembark, you would get basically a tag with a time slot, the same fashion that you have embarked. It's going to work the same way when you disembark. You can, if you want, of course, either do like this way, keep your essentials with you in the backpack and you will be good to go for one night, or you can keep your luggage with you, but you will have to keep it with you. And I have to say that the elevators might be a little busy on that morning. So to actually find a spot at this time, it might be tricky if you still have your luggage. If you're patient, if you're cool, if you have all the time in the world, that's fine as well. So that's what you can do, right? Of course, so what I said about embarkation, disembarkation, we are in COVID, right? So we will have, and Patty's going to keep you posted about it because not everything has been out yet, but we will have new protocols on board as soon as we resume operations. Will they be the same by May 2022 or not? I'm not sure. Maybe actually we're going to keep some, but we were, Rob, you were saying you both actually went on 8 cruises. So you know that we're already top notch when it's about health and safety protocols already. That's always security. That's the #1 priority for us, as simple as that. So we will even go further to that extent. So it might change a little bit the way we handle the luggage, for example, by then, but keep yourself positive because there's a lot of things that can happen by then. And hopefully, I hope it's going to be completely back to normal. So now let's talk about your new home for those 12 days of the beautiful Norwegian Spirit. So basically, she is one of our smallest ships. That's correct, because she's 2018 passengers for approximately half of that crew members, like 912 crew members. Because actually that's something that is very important when you go on a cruise. It's the size of the ship, of course, how many passengers you may have on board, but how many crew members are going to take care of you. And that's what it's so important for us. Because if you're on a ship with 2,000 passengers with only 400 crew members, it's not so many people to take good care of you. Here we have roughly 1 crew member for 2 passengers, which is one of the best ratios in the industry. So she has been completely refurbished in 20 actually, sorry, we're already in 21. So she was refurbished in February. She was built technically in 1998, but what is refurbished for us, it's not just change the curtain, right, or the carpets. We break everything down to the steel and we rebuilt everything. She was the biggest refurbished investment in our whole history, about $500,000, just to give you an idea. No, half a billion, I'm sorry. It was almost $500 million. Even I said it, I was like, sounds cheap when I say it. No, it was $500 million. So those spaces are here, how it's going to go. So you're going to have public spaces, outdoor, indoor, and then you will have, of course, your cabin. We will have a tons of bars and restaurants for you guys. We will have enough so you can change pretty much all the time. So we have some lounges, we have some champagne bars. We have as well the Spice H2O, which is actually an outdoor part of the ship, which is adults only. And that used to be actually the kids' water park. If you've ever been on a Spirit before the refurbishment, you may remember that, the water park and actually kids club. We have removed them because basically this ship, we really wanted to have her focus on those itineraries, we call them extraordinary journey, which actually the French Polynesia belongs to. So those longer itineraries where typically most of our guests are basically adults, rarely kids. It doesn't mean they are not welcome on board. Of course they are, but this is not usually where we have most of them. We have as well a spa, which is my favorite place on the ship, and we have as well a fitness center. So just an idea of how the lounge looks like. So that's the spinnaker. So that's basically on the top of the ship. So that's indoor. So there would be a bit of chilly day, even though I'm not sure in Pacific what kind of chilly days you may have. But those places usually on our ship, they are my favorite, because here you just have to picture yourself in the morning, watching the sunrise over the blue sea. That's the first thing you can see as well in the morning. When you wake up, you're going to see a new island, a new destination through your window, maybe your balcony if you want to go for those rooms, which I hope you will go for. It's just breathtaking. We really love it. Lots of different barges. So that's the Spice H2 on the top. So that's only for adults. So that's great, actually, if you really want to ensure to have this zone. Like, it's usually just a little bit more quiet if there would be like a couple of kids, but no worry for that. The spa as well, completely refurbished. So this one you can go just for one time for like a nice massage, for example, or you can buy what we call the thermal suite passes. So those basically enables you to be able to have access for the whole cruise to the spa thermal suites. So this is basically the indoor, you have the jacuzzi, you have an indoor pool, you have like hammam, sauna, for example. So that's those facilities that you could get access. It doesn't give you massages, free cares, no, but that you would get access to that. Personally, I absolutely love it. The spa, I'm a huge fan of spa, so that's definitely what I'm gonna go for. As well, so here we are right now in the atrium. So the atrium is actually the first space you're going to see when you get on board the ship. That's the first thing you see. That's where you, basically when you get onto the ship, you will go into an elevator, and as soon as the door opens, you will be there in the atrium. So that's basically the where everybody meets, right? All the guests, you have big screens, you have animations in the day, and you have all the desks as well. So the guest service desk, anything you need for your room, excursion desk, if you haven't booked one of our excursion and you want to do it. On the first days as well, you may have a tons of remote little desk from the other places on the ship, like the spa, for example, just to explain, give you information about how they work. So you remember when I say when you get on the ship and you will have your backpack and maybe your cabin is not yet ready, that's the perfect time to do that. Just go visit those booths, just talk to our team, to our crews, meet up with them, because you will see them for 12 days. So, and they're absolutely fantastic. They are really, really lovely people. As well, I have to say that's the thing that sold me. There's Starbucks on board. Yes, we do. So that is important. Yeah, I'm the same. So we have Starbucks, not on all the ships of the fleet, but quite almost half of them. And the Spirit, yay, is part of them. So you can find your nice treat. I love my Starbucks coffee. I have one downstairs. I'm very lucky. I chose the apartment I live in because there's a Starbucks in the lobby of my building in Toronto. I'm not kidding. I can literally order my coffee from my living room. So total, we have 11 bars and lounges. So you could literally go to one of them every single night before your dinner, and that would not be the same. So that's basically what you would be able to do. In terms of restaurants, so we have as well lots of different options for you guys. So we have two kinds of dining options on board. We have what we call complimentary, and we have what we call specialty. So complimentary, pretty straightforward. It means that those are free of charge at any time during your cruise. They would be included. Those that are called specialty are usually like smaller spaces, really an elevated experience with an actual type of cuisine. For example, Onda by Scarpetta is one of those specialty restaurants. This is Italian. And they forced me to try Onda by Scarpetta. It's been introduced for the very first time on the Norwegian Anchor, which was our last newest ship. Actually, she was christened actually in November 2019. And we introduced for the first time Onda by Scarpetta, and they forced me to try. I have to say that the polenta with truffle was quite an experience. It was absolutely fantastic. It's fantastic. So we have some dining rooms, we have indoor options, we have as well outdoor options. So for example, the local bar and grill, which is actually next to the swimming pool. We have as well 24/7 options. So that is on every single ship of Norwegian. So we have an option, which is a kind of pub-like, where you will find food 24/7 free of charge. And that, when you remember what I said about a little tiny jet lag, where maybe your tummy is going to wake up quite hungry in the middle of the night, that's perfect. So you can have a walk and have a little snack. Best wings at sea, I can testify of that. So we have as well some other options. So I talk about Onda. Here, for example, that's Cagnis, that's a steak house, that's a specialty restaurant. If you're like me, if you're actually like a steak lovers, this is where you want to go. Those come in good sizes. The surf and turf is just amazing. We have an Asian option as well, Asian restaurants. We have the local, so that's the 24/7 option. This one is really cool. You have like, as I said, like, because it's a kind of pub, like, so yeah, you have like chicken pot pie, fish and chips, you have even ribs, you have a lot of things. So you will find the options you want. We have total 7 complimentary restaurants, and we have 5 specialty. I would say maybe visit the French as well. I don't know why am I saying that. I'm not sure I'm objective on that one, but it's absolutely great option. Of course, we're going to keep you busy in the day, either because you're going to be on the shore side, or because you're going to be at the pool, at the spa, at the fitness. There's a lot of things to do. But at night, of course, we want to keep you busy as well. So that's a choice, actually. If you want just to stay in your cabin, chill, watching a Netflix movie, a good book, that's up to you. But if you want to go for parties, for actual nightlife, you can definitely have that on board. So we have some shows elements. For example, I've seen it on the Anchor. It's a little bit like Cirque du Soleil, for example. So this goes absolutely for free. So that's a kind of, it's based on the elements. So you have about fires, about water. Is pretty cool. And you have some kind of, it's a kind of mix between dance and magic show. It's really nice. It's really great. You have Palace of Light. So this is something based on the mambo music. If you are like me and you love dirty dancing, for you. You have as well Blazing Boots, which is actually a tribute to the pop country. So that is really nice. And you have World Beats as well. So that's all about percussion beats. So that's really cool. Now, freestyle experience. So that's the real life on board. Remember at the very beginning, I was talking about my own experience with cruising. And I was like, I had experienced actually more cruises where we had an assigned dining times. So that happens a lot nowadays in lots of cruise lines, because basically the ships, long story short, some ships are just too small. They have actually small kitchen and small dining rooms. So what they want to do is to ensure that not everybody is going to the dining room at the same time, because of course the kitchen could not follow. They do the same if you actually like go into a restaurant, right? They would accept 15 people at 7, 15 at 7:30, etc. That's nothing new. But when you're on a cruise, when you're on vacation, you don't want somebody to tell you at what time you need to have your dinner every night. Everybody's different. If you're like me, I'm doing something crazy. I'm actually having dinner when I am hungry, eventually. And it's not, I tend to be pretty much at the same time, but it's not always the same time. And even though, imagine if I am somebody who loves to have my dinner at 7, and if someone tells you, no, you cannot eat before 8:30, or you have to go there at 6 p.m., It's not nice, to be honest. If you want to go actually on the show that is actually at 7, for example, Elements that would start at 7, 7:30, if your assigned dining time is 7, you don't want to miss your show. So that's why with us, this is where we decided to be different, and there's no assigned dining time. So basically you would choose. We have enough dining options. You remember we have basically 16 dining options on board. So all passengers, even if they would like to get dinner at the same time, they would basically naturally spread all over the ship. So there's no waiting time. And it's just in case there's a few minutes of waiting time because you want to one restaurant in particular, you would have basically, you know, those kind of boxes that vibrates whenever your table is ready. So we give that to you, and there's always a bar next to the restaurant. So you would just have to sit down, enjoy a cocktail or something. That's what I do, and I love it that way. So here that goes with it. So no fixed dining time, and as well, you go and dress as you like. Some of the cruise lines, even nowadays, still actually ask you to dress a certain way. So it could be there with a jacket and a tie for you gentlemen, or it could be actually, I don't know, an evening dress for ladies, maybe high heel, I don't know. Here, no, you come as you like. If you want to go casual, you're absolutely welcome. We may put a limit about no swimsuits, but that's fair enough, I believe. So now let's talk about your room. So that's, if you're a little bit like me, I like actually to have a mix of both. I love to spend time outdoor a lot. My typical day on board of a ship would be a lot next to the swimming pool, the spa, the gym. Mostly the spa actually, more than the gym. Trying to keep myself busy actually in gaining my 10 pounds, but at some of the restaurants. But I love sometimes to go into my room and just chill, you know, just like be a little bit with myself and get a book. And I always have a balcony room actually, so I can enjoy just the sound of the sea. I really love that. And with a bit of luck, if I have a balcony, I can even spot some actually dolphins or something. So that's even better. So here basically Patty, she has blocked some rooms for you at a very great price. So your rooms will be, and I really would like you to go on that one, that's either balcony or ocean view. So a balcony is basically that room where you are basically like 40 square feet in terms of size for the balcony, and between 171 to 271 square feet for the room. So that's basically the same size that any typical hotel room, I have to say, standard hotel room. So you are absolutely comfortable. The big thing with the balcony, this is your privacy. And probably you've seen many times our ships, nowadays they all have tons of balconies, because if you go on a cruise, I believe this is to see water. You want to see water, you want to hear water, you want to live water. I love being on the water. So that's where actually you can actually imagine yourself, you know, with this bed that looks atrociously comfy. So you just like wake up in the morning, you just open your curtains and you just step out on your balcony and you just watch the sea. If there's an island here, because this is a new destination port, you would even see an island in the background. So that's absolutely fantastic. You get to Starbucks and you get it here on your balcony. You can have your breakfast delivered to your room as well. So there's a little extra charge for that. But I mean, you're on vacation, so just treat yourself. But as well, if you want, you can go for another option, which is the ocean view. So the ocean view is basically where you have no balcony. That's basically any similar to the size would be pretty much the same as an ocean as a balcony, depends on the category, but you would have a window basically. So the size of the window depends on the type of the room, but Patty is going to give you more information about it in due time. And the great thing compared to your hotel, there's no dispute about the view. Once again, no garden view on the cruise ship. You will all have ocean view, I promise. So finally, but that's basically just some discussion. We have as well on board some inside. So inside means what it means. It's like there's no window at all. It doesn't mean that's a bad option. So Patty doesn't have those rules because she knows what she's talking about. And basically, if you want to experience at best your cruise, you would want to have either an ocean view or a balcony. So now let's talk about your program, right, for the week. So that's called actually Free at Sea. So this is an offer we do usually, but we have tweaked it a little bit. So to ensure that basically you can choose up to 4 free offers depending on your cabin type. So we will have this choice of 4, and we will come to the price and actually the actual offers in a second. But Basically, those options are these ones. So you would get either unlimited open bar, which is the favorite of most of our guests. Are you surprised by that? So that's a true unlimited open bar. So it means that as many drinks as you like, drink responsibly, but as many as you like, up to $15 US on the menu, which is pretty much everything. I have to say, what goes over 15 for us is really the fancy wines, fancy champagnes. Most of everything on board would be below $15. An average cocktail would be like what, $12, maybe 13. A glass of wine would be same price. Beer would be even below that. So everything would be included. And if you actually would go for the fancy wine, may become funny after a few of them actually. For the fancy wine, let's say it's $20, we would just charge you the actual difference, which is $5, right? We would not actually say, oh, because it's out of the package, you have to pay that in full. No, we are fair with that. Second option as well is a specialty dining package. So you remember, I've been talking about the specialty restaurants that those go at an extra charge. So with that package, if you choose to get that one, you would get a certain number of them included in your cruise. So you would even be able to go to that cruise. Sorry, I'm seeing your dog, Debbie. It's a good disturbance. So here, I think he heard, or she actually, but it heard about the food and it was like, yeah, I want to go too. So you would have actually access to those specialty restaurants as well. If you want to go for excursions, we will give you, with this option, $50 US onboard credit per cabin. So that's not per person, per cabin, for every single port you're going to visit. So you count in your head how many ports you have on your itinerary, excluding the embarkation port, but that includes the disembarkation one. So that's great. If, for example, if you would be the one that wants to go straight away to the airport from the moment you disembark, maybe your flight would be late at night. That's actually probably what's going to happen when you fly that direction. So that's something where we have usually some excursions that where we're going to bring you, I don't know, in Honolulu, that could be, I don't know, like Pearl Harbor Museum or whatever. And we are going to bring you back to the airport for you to catch your flight on time. That's a few options that are available like that. And finally, the free Wi-Fi, so 250 minutes, that would be included to spend as you like on the cabin. You can upgrade on board as well. We have some other packages like completely unlimited minutes, like premium, etc. But you would have actually the minimum required if you want to stay in touch with your family, your friends, keep them jealous with a couple of pictures. All right, so Patty, I'm going to give the mic over to you so you can explain what is the offer that you were so harsh with me to negotiate.
All right, so I hope everyone's really excited about this. So like Cindy had said, I have booked two categories of cabins, the balconies and the ocean views. The balcony is selling at $9,884 per cabin. So it's based on two people. And I know it seems like, oh my gosh, that's so much, but just let me let you know right now online, if you actually booked your own cabin, not in my group, it is over $14,000 for the same cabin. It's a BA category. And I've actually picked a room that was right next to Rob and Ann. So it's on the same floor, everything identical, $14,223, plus you have to add gratuities yet. My price for the $98.84, and it's only because I booked into this group early and Cindy gave me a really great price. So like she said, Norwegian it's definitely a value. So what you are getting for this is you are getting the cabin, all your port fees, all of your taxes, all of the gratuities, and there is that mandatory gratuity that they ask for. And that covers the people that clean your room, vacuum the floors, your bartenders, just everybody on that ship that makes our experience so wonderful. Those gratuities go to them and they split them. So it really doesn't seem like a whole lot going. Your alcohol beverage, if you don't drink, there is a non-alcoholic beverage, of course. The 4-night specialty dining, like she said, and the 250 Wi-Fi minutes, and the port excursion discount. So what is not included in this package is the airfare to Papeete, which would be like kind of a one-way down and then a return from Honolulu. Any hotels pre and post. And pre and post for anyone who's new to cruising means you can go down earlier than our cruise and you can stay later than the cruise. So we can send you down, you know, a week early if you want to Papeete, or 3 days or whatever, just to stay for a little bit. Groups that travel with me with airfare, we go at least 2 days early. We will leave to make sure that if there's any connection problems, we don't miss our cruise. So anyone who's traveled with me before, Rob and Anne have, Cecilia has, they all know that we like to go that little bit early. You get relaxed, you're into the group, and then when cruising hits, we're gone. So the hotels aren't included pre and post shopping off the port or off the cruise ships or on the cruise ships, and meals on and off aren't. And then travel insurance. I am licensed for the province of Alberta to sell travel insurance, just to make sure that your investment's protected. So the reduced deposit up until March 29th, there is a reduced deposit of $125 per person. After that, it goes to $250 per person, still refundable. And the final payment is January 1st of 2022. So we still have the rest of the year to pay for this. There is a financing program that we do offer through my host agency, if anyone is interested as well, to talk about that. And that's kind of our deal that we've got. And like I said, I just looked it up online and it's over 14,000 compared. So you're saving about $4,000, and it's going to probably go higher. The first time I checked, it was, I think, 2. And then when I talked to Cindy last week, it was 3. And now we're over 4. So as that cruise sells out, it's just going to keep going higher. So I'm so thankful that we booked our space that we did. So
that's great. And you know what? That's the kind of conversation we have all the time with Patty, when I'm like, you know what? I know the best price always come when we release itineraries, when we announce we're going to go somewhere. And basically this itinerary has been made available, what, 4 or 5 weeks ago.
yeah.
And we were having a chat, and I was like, we need to do it now. Why? I booked myself literally 2 days after that, because there was amazing prices. And I know on those ones where we have a very, very few departure dates for this itinerary. I think over the year, we have a couple of itineraries, a couple of dates in May, and we have a couple of dates in October, November. So April, May, and October, November. So it's a rare itineraries, and that's a fantastic itineraries. And this price, when you think about it, like even a balcony, right? A balcony, like not even $10,000 for 2 persons, with everything included on board. And for almost 2 weeks, we're talking about 12 days. I think you will never get a better offer. I'm ready to bet on that one. It's for that kind of vacation, that's going to be, once again, it's the kind of bucket list vacation. So once you do that, I won't say it's once in a lifetime, because I wish you guys are going to go back over there like billions of times, but it may be just once in a lifetime. So you want to ensure that your experience is going to be amazing. And that's what you're going to get for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a bucket list destination. And I have sold French Polynesia before. And I can tell you, for a 7-day smaller ship cruise just around those islands, it's well over 10 just to start. So I was really excited to get the Hawaiian Islands included in this one. And just for anyone that is interested in, wants to talk more about Hawaii, I do have my Hawaii specialist designation as well. So I have been trained in all of the islands. So I love talking travel. And I love talking Hawaii. So if anyone wants to chat more.
Here you go. And just as well, a reminder that the deposits, I insist on that, they are fully refundable if you cancel your reservation before final payment due date, which is January 1st, 2022. So you can secure your spot now. And if you change your mind later, if something else comes up, that's fine. There's no question asked. You will get an absolute full refund on your deposit. That's provided you cancel before that date. So do not wait, because Patty has, at that price, has definitely limited inventory. I know it. So, and that goes extremely fast, so you don't want to miss out. Better, especially right now when there's so many vacation plans that were canceled over the past 18 months. We have a tons of guests who are actually rebooking very, very fast and actively on 2022, 2023. So that's why actually at some point, limited inventory is going to make a lot of sense because like all across the cruise line, the resorts, there's going to be that. So I was talking about wine, Debbie, I was saying like you like wine. So yeah, keep yourself with us. So if you book actually by March 10th, 2021, so that's when are we now? We're March the 4th, so the next week basically. So by booking, we understand pay the deposit and have the confirmation under your name. You will receive for free complimentary of patty and Norwegian, a free bottle of wine and free chocolate covered strawberries in your cabin as a welcome gift. Here you go. So this one, if you don't drink it on board, you can come back at home with it. I use it sometimes to cook. It's really good for cooking. So I just go as well with that one.
Great way to be friends on the cruise ship. Take your
so we're solid hour. So just before, you may have questions and answers, and we will be very happy to answer them. So just a reminder, why booking now, right? First, because you understood the group rates are selling out fast. With this kind of price difference that Patty was talking about, how surprising is it? As well, something that sometimes you never think about, but the rooms on the cruise ships compared to a hotel, they're actually positioned on different areas. And we know our guests have their preference of the location of the room. So for example, the best one are in the middle of the ship, and that's what Patty has. That's right in the middle. It's less rocky. It's closer to the elevators, for example. They're on the higher deck. So that's, for example, the one people prefer. Why? Because, for example, if you take another room, maybe that is at the front of the ship, there may be a tiny little more wind, for example, but you will enjoy better the view. Some other people, they rather be basically what we call the aft, so which is basically the back of the ship, but the view is not the same. So that's why actually ensuring to have those cabins enables to have your experience even better. Deposits are refundable, and then you can dream about your cruise, as simple as that. All right, so that's why actually I booked for myself, because now I'm going to spend the next 12, 18 months like planning on my vacation. So now that's time for questions and answers. Do you have questions, guys? Fire up.
Come off mute.
Yeah, just mind also, and I've seen actually more people who joined.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, you know what, actually, Jeff, I'm going to promote you. Sorry, didn't see you coming. If you have a microphone, yeah, if you have a mic, Josh, actually, you might be able to. Where is Josh?
Jeff.
Coming. Oh, here you go. Hi, Jeff, welcome. If you want, you can switch on your cameras. Hey, welcome.
Thanks. I missed the very beginning, sorry. And I missed the dates that the cruises are. I picked up from where I've listened to so far. Sounds like it's in May of 2022.
It's the 7th of May, 2022.
Yeah, it's the May 7th to May 19th. So
okay, that's good dates.
I'm kind of planning to leave about the 4th and then come back probably the 22nd for our my little group that'll come. So everyone's kind of willing. I'll be looking for, if you need help with airfare, we'll get group airfare, we'll get all that. But those are kind of the dates to look for.
All righty, fire up. Do feel free to ask any questions. Don't be shy, especially if you don't know how it goes online on our ships. I mean, every question is always welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I know I talk a lot. I'm famous for that. I'm fine with that.
I know Annie can attest that she has an allergy, and I know she gets taken care of very well on Norwegian. One of the things that we schedule is a meeting with the concierge and the maitre d' right away. So she talks about her allergy, and they make sure that the menus that she's given at supper are she's an egg allergy, so it's egg free for her. And any questions, I know they definitely take care of her. So
absolutely, any kind of dietary requirement, please let Patty know at the moment of the reservation, so we can she can inquire with our team. So depending on what is the requirement, we will check that together. But definitely, if anything related to allergies in particular, we take a very, very great care of that.
Yeah, because all you got to do is just say, this is me, I have an egg allergy, so if I order something, they'll come to me and say, no, you can't have that. And then they'll give you something else to eat besides that.
Exactly. Basically, in our kitchens, the way it works is like we have literally separate stations from each other just to ensure there's no food crossing, so you don't like contamination. I don't like to use that word because it sounds so dramatic, but yeah, it's called food contamination, cross contamination when you have like if you would work on the same station where an hour ago there was a dish. I don't know, cooked with eggs, and somebody else comes later. There might be little tiny particles of eggs, but that's enough for you, Annie, right? So we don't do that. We don't joke with that at all.
Any other questions?
So who's going to go now? I want to see some hands.
We're booked and we're paid for. I got my paid invoice today.
Yep.
All right.
If anyone does have questions, please reach out to me. I think you guys all have my contact information, my email.
It's coming, actually.
Phone, all that.
Will you be doing more of these?
More of what?
Just the looks at the different cruises that are available. I signed up for this because I was really interested in where they also go, right? I just went on the Mexican Riviera one. I loved it, but I was, thought I'd like to see, it's nice to see where they're going and what there is to do when you get there, right? So
yeah, there aren't formal presentations on every itinerary that they do. They like BDMs like Cindy will come out and actually design it if there is interest in going. So if you're interested in an itinerary that I don't have right now and you have some friends that might be interested, let's start the group. Let's get them going. We're always up for traveling more. So if you have a destination, I don't know, Australia is maybe on your bucket list and you're looking for that one, you know what, if you've got some friends that are interested as well, we'll put together an Australia itinerary and we'll do this as well. So the time, and we do record them. So last week we did our Greek Isle. So it's Italy, Greece, and we actually have Messina, Sicily, and there's actually a France stop in that itinerary.
Correct.
So
where can you find the recording for that?
It's actually a link that I just got from Cindy this week. So it will be on my website, Dreamaker Vacations on Facebook. So I will be posting it so you can go in and watch it at any time at your convenience. So yeah, that one's an exciting issue.
Absolutely. There's, as Patty said, we just have too many itineraries, so we cannot record a video for each of them. We go, to give you an idea, we go to 450 ports in the world. So yeah, right now we focus with Patty. She has some spaces, some amazing prices on those particular itineraries, but of course she's going to help you to figure out what's your next vacation, right? If it's not that one. Of course, we work together very closely. She knows everything about us, so she would be very happy to redirect you to the best itinerary. Australia and New Zealand would be amazing. I see. Am I wrong, Rob and Annie? Did you say something like we should go on that one too? Australia and New Zealand when Patty mentioned it? I thought you were doing like kind of, or maybe you've been there already.
I'm sure they would go.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
No, we're talking about maybe doing
The African with Patty next year or year after.
Yeah, 2023, I will be looking at the Africa. They have a great cruise. It's a 7-day around the tip of South Africa. And then it would be a week inland to do safaris as well. So that is a 2023 one that I will be putting together. So that's really great for people who do want to cruise, but maybe don't want to do the safaris, or do want to safaris but not cruise. You can kind of put it together or join us for both. So that's the great thing with the pre and post. We can create those kind of itineraries and give people options.
So here you go. So we are going to let you go, ladies and gentlemen, but thank you very much. If you have more questions to come, reach out to Patty either on Facebook, through our website. You have the contact details over there. And yes, we cannot wait to welcome you on board, of course. Patty, some last words for your guests?
Just thank you all for coming tonight. I hope it gave you just a snapshot of what cruising the French Polynesia and Hawaii is going to be like. I'd love to talk about it anymore with anyone if they're interested, because I really feel these are our bucket list destinations, and to go for 1 week in one destination is hard. we get to unpack once and see two completely different worlds. And I'm really excited to share that and bring that to my clients. So I'm excited, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Wonderful.
night, huh?
And this will be recorded and shared.